Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Game 1 showed us the true potential here in what could be an epic best-of-7 finals. A 1 or 32-minute game. I lost count at the end there.
Over 30 minutes.
Epic, over 30 minutes to kick us off. We're now moving on to Entomb Valley, where we see Creator going into this best-of-7 with a 1-game lead.
This is certainly the map where I would expect Creator to do a conservative 3-base play. Life could be doing anything given what we saw out of him in game number 1. This map is particularly difficult to go Broodlord Infestor in the late game on, though. Even though it's kind of like the crux play a lot of players rely on, counterattacking really easy. Defending extra bases as Zerg really hard. If it goes on long enough, I give the edge more and more and more to Creator, but it's all up to Life to figure out an early game answer.
All right, well, let's waste no time. Entomb Valley is going to be the next map, and we're getting started with Game 2 of the TSL4 Grand Finals now. And here we go, Game 2, Sean. The first game was quite an exciting one. And now we hop into Entomb Valley. The starting position's already very interesting. So we kick things off in the northeast corner. From Team Startail, down 1 game, it is Life.
And down in the bottom right corner, showing us incredible resilience in the face of crazy drop, fast Infestor play, and of course the eventual Broodlord Infestor. It is CreatorPrime.
So, in talking a little bit about this, we have the exact same positions that we had in our 3rd, 4th place matchup when we saw Entomb Valley, where we've got both players spawning over on the eastern side of the map. Now, of course, this changes quite a bit, it being a PVZ. The 3rd base for the Protoss is going to be a little further away. The 3rd base for the Zerg a little further away. But what kind of is interesting here is, of course, that cliff that both players can fight into. And I'd say that, you know, Protoss, they can fight into that one a little bit better. Also, some interesting Warp Prism placements around here that we see a lot of players like to play with as well. And so, Life, you know, I kind of feel like these positions are not the greatest for him.
Yeah, you always want the cross-map positions. It always just makes things so much easier. The fact of the matter is, Protoss moving out to attack your main base is always such a big threat that it almost creates this anchor where you feel pulled to that top right side. You can't do things like take an expansion at the top left unless you have a super hyper-mobile army. You have to kind of go in order with your expansions as Zerg.
Yeah, and Probe is out. We do have the pool down. We have the Forge up. Overlord already making it into the natural. Sees that it's not a Nexus first. And now, oh, the Probe a little slow on that 15 drone going out, and the hatchery does go down quite easily here in this matchup.
I mean, sometimes you want to be blocking it, other times you actually want to let it go down. The reason you want it to go down is look in Life's main base. He can't afford to both get the queen and the extra Zerglings because he built a hatchery. If you end up blocking it, then he can instantly build the Zerglings and instantly get the queen up. And this will allow Creator to do exactly what he's doing. Get the gateway and the pylon up first, and then follow it up with the cannon.
So gateway down at the front, as you mentioned. We've got Zergling out, another drone making his way over to the 3rd already. Zerglings walk wide past that throne. They're not concerned with him. They don't really care. Drone's going to give chase. Meanwhile, it just looks like a gasless build. And what we saw out of Life in the last game with that early gas was certainly a deviation from what the typical ZVP game plays out as. But with that early lair, it did put him in a decent position. But CreatorPrime coming out on top. He's going to get 2 more lings in as the cannon finishes up. And it's not the 3 that he had before, but it'll do causes a distraction.
This is kind of weird. I mean, most of the time Protosses will do anything to prevent Zerglings from getting in the main. Ooh, cheating, killing off a probe. Like, you would very much so anticipate to see Creator doing the wall off, anything to stop this, but no, he just kind of lets it happen, and that actually baffles me. That actually feels like a mistake done 2 times in a row.
We have more Zealots coming out for Creator. And yeah, I mean, the early lings, again, I mean, look at how many probes are coming off mining, trying to get this going. Obviously, action's being spent on this. But now that the Zealot's out, it's a little less of a threat. More drones coming out. The third base is down. I suspect that we'll be seeing first gas here soon, following up with a Roach Warren. So now we have another Queen coming out. So right now, where does CreatorPrime go from here? There he started his Warp Gate research. He's on his 2 similars inside, and there's still one pesky little Zergling with just a few hit points. 10 hit points. It's being so annoying inside the main base of Creator.
But of course, what he's really doing is he's trying to gloat that 1 kill around Marcus.
Yeah.
Look what I have.
My badge.
Neener, Zealot. But we also are seeing Creator do a little bit of an aggressive variant. Oh, Life. Oh, man, Life. Free Overlord at the natural.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to happen. I saw the second Zealot queued, but eventually it was going to come, and there it is. It scoots back in, maybe seeing is there anything there that I could see, but no, he will die for the cause, Day 9. There is 1 gas at the natural, 1 at the main, and nothing at the third quite yet for Life, but he is now going to be gearing up and using these lings to actively search for any pylons around the base or around the map. Look pretty good.
In Startale Life's base, we see things are looking quite typical, with the one exception of Zergling speed before anything else. We generally are seeing players throw down the layer first. A lot of lings out right now for Life. He's going to get nice around. Creator doing some pretty cool micro, splitting everything up. We'll end up losing all those Zealots, though. I'm kind of surprised to see Creator going for such a late Stargate, though. This actually excites me a lot, because people pretty much claimed that the Stargate play was dead.
You know, on the other hand, like Life, I feel like with that Overlord, he peeked over. Remember, he tried to peek over the ramp maybe to see if that Stargate was there. So the Zergling inside the main, I wonder if he had planned to do that, but it just got delayed. And now if Life peeked it and doesn't know, you know, it still could be a while before he gets a chance to scope that out. So I wonder if it's going to take him by surprise. There's some more gateways going down. And we didn't have a Void Ray come out. We just immediately saw him go into Phoenixes. So there the lair, almost done with the double Evo chamber on the way. But where does he go beyond this? Because right now he's just sitting on all Ling. Just wait to go Infester, I suppose.
Yeah, it looks like he is setting himself up once again for that Zergling Infester play. Though I wouldn't be that surprised to see a Spire go down. Wait a minute, look at the lings he's making. He already has 33 lings out, getting another 20. Ventral sack immediately. Oh, Marcus, oh my god, he's rushing for drop with mass ling. What a frickin' badass. In the meantime, though, these Phoenixes are going to see everything and give him so much trouble.
Yeah, they are, and they've been a couple of them pooling some energy here. We see the spores go down almost immediately thanks to that human, or rather Zergling Xel'Naga tower on the banana hallway. Trying to bring some more queens down to support, but he also wants to make sure he doesn't just lose all of his queens. First one does go down. He's going to lose queen number 2. And although the spores are coming back up, this Viking reinforcement has turned out to be quite good. One almost goes down, and now the spores starting to make themselves known. He can pick off a few gas drones. There's one. Going to get a few overlords as well. And so, surprise! Phoenixes and CreatorPrime makes this work.
Oh, this is so cool, but look at this Baneling nest going down as well. Oh, Zergling's running in! Spots it at the last second, but it's not quite enough. He's desperately trying to pull the sentries back. Excellent repositioning. Getting back into good condition, and a late Void Ray. After the Phoenixes have been produced. I've never seen a Void Ray late like that before.
Well, I mean, it's so crazy, too, because he canceled both drops and Overlord speed. If he even had Overlord speed going, I don't know. And now he's just sitting out here with a ton of lings. His tech is behind because he just put down his infestation pit much later. He's just now getting adrenal glands. And, I mean, I feel like this air army is going to continue to do some damage here. He's got vision just outside the Zerg base. Are we going to see potentially a fourth go down here as another ling attack goes in, but force fields stop it short? The only thing this really doing is create delaying Creator on a third.
Yeah, I mean, this game has calmed down quite a bit with, honestly, CreatorPrime getting a little bit of the better end of the deal. He hasn't served his third base yet, which is quite unusual given the modern state of PvZ. And in this position, what is Life's play? I think that what he's going to do is just continue to make tons of infestors, tons of drones, take a fourth, yep, there's the fourth going down, and just literally say, damn it, my mid-game plan didn't work, time to go straight Broodlord Infestor. The one concern I have is that we're seeing kind of an old-school answer from Creator. He's actually going Void Ray, non-stop production with Colossus incoming, so we might see one of the oldest compositions in the book, and
I mean, with
be a big problem for Creator.
It is, with the Infestors out and pooling energy, you know, obviously that's going to be great here. The Phoenix is moving up. They got to be careful. He spreads them out quite nicely. He's going to try to get a lift. Then he sees how many Infestors, just a scout. He's going to possibly go up here and check on that third. But I wonder, with the Void Rays coming into play, it seems like it's going to be a really nasty composition with, you know, with what he's got. If he eliminates any of these Infestors, it's just... I thought maybe he would add that Spire out there, but still we don't see it. And there, Zergling's going back over, spot an Overlord. They're not going to like what they run into.
I mean, the fact is that if you are going for Air plus Colossus, you have a little bit of a problem because everything stacks. Uh-oh, looks like in this engagement he will manage to get a single Infestor. More being lifted, but oh my god, Creator's losing all this life just... He is destroying everything the Creator built up. Yeah, if you have Air and Colossus, everything's standing on top of each other. So literally a couple of fungals and your whole army's gooped.
Yeah, suddenly that changes quite a bit. Their Roach Warren is going down as well. You know, losing that one Void Ray. There's still a couple in the army. There's two. The first Colossus is out. We're seeing more. Extended Thermal Lance is coming down, but a big Ling Infestor movement here along the western side of the map. Going to swing around to that third. Are they running back? Actually, Phoenix going in for the scout. And I really am curious. I mean, Life, I still don't... There he's going up to Hive. His Spire is finally down. But, I mean, he seems to be comfortable in the position he's in.
This is just an unusual game no matter how you slice it. Finally, Life's play is starting to make more and more sense over time, pulling back into the Infestor, Broodlord style, getting the Roach Warren up, getting the Roach speed in case he loses his army and needs to reinforce it. But Creator is making a very interesting choice. At this point in time, at 160 food, what you'd ordinarily see is a player who wants to be starting his Fleet Beacon, starting to get his motherships in that mixture, starting to get the Templar Archives for Storm. But instead, we see favoring Warp Prism plus Zealot Leg, trying to just batter down his opponent. This is another way of saying, I don't think I really have a big push coming up.
And there's a small, minor tussle here in the southern side of the map. Some Lings run in, and the Colossus get the best of that. And the supplies right now climbing up all the way to the top now, 200. But look at how much supply for Life here is Lings. He's moving his Spinecrawler force forward. Now we see the Observer coming out so he can start to clear out this creep leading up to his base. And here we have the Warp-In, a big Warp-In inside the main of Life.
He will be able to take out the Warp Prism, but now Life is... What is Life actually going to pull back? He pulls back literally everything. Oh, he loses one Infestor, two Infestor. Kind of a blunder there by Life, but honestly, Creator should have synced up an attack at the front with this push at the back. He's slowly starting to regather together, and right now Life is going to get the opportunity to get himself back into position again.
Yeah, I mean, Prime, of course, has, excuse me, Creator has to deal with the Spinecrawler wall right here. Going around the far west side to that fourth seems a little scary considering the mobility that Life has right now. And here we go, he's going in for it. The Lings moving in, and a lot of fungals and infested terrans being thrown down.
Wow.
Here come the Corruptors from the back, and both of those Colossus are just going to go down quite easily. The Archon's coming out, and now the ground army's been depleted.
Domination by Life. That couldn't have gone better. Oh, the two Archons are staying alive. They have almost no health right now. Creator continues to blink forward, deal a little bit of damage, but I mean, damage has been done, Marcus. That was just an irreparably bad loss for CreatorPrime.
Yeah, I mean, both the Void Rays, of course, the Colossus are out too. You notice there's not one in production. A lot of the Infestors stayed alive, some with some good amounts of energy, so we'll have some Fungals available rather soon. The Roach is coming out, but there's that swing around to that fourth base, realizing he's just lost a lot. Maybe he'll go in for the snipe. This army's going to be coming around, and is he going to engage here? I think this is crazy. There's the first Fungal going down. There's no Broodlords out here yet, but there's a wall.
Life needs to corrupt. He has so much damage that he's just left on the table. He could have been able to thwart this relatively easily, but now he's just going to barely get the win off. And right now, Life is suddenly on the verge of losing this expansion. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, these Lings have to pop out, and like right now, there are 38 Lings now coming in. Then he can go in yet again. He has no more fungal growths remaining, but there's another warp in here, and Prime may be able to, CreatorPrime might be able to hold this off. He's going in yet again, throws out the final Infested Terrans. There's a nice snipe of the Warp Prism, and look at the blink play happening here. All these Lings coming in, but they are quickly shot down. More Stalkers from the back, and CreatorPrime really made that work for himself.
I mean, you think about the fact that the Infestors were out of energy, there were 10 Corruptors, 40 whole food was tied up in Corruptors and energyless Infestors. 40 food. That is the reason why that battle was so hard for StarTale Life, but even just a slight moment of stability means that he's going to be able to get 3 or 4 fungal growths, get his Broodlords up, and a Zergling counterattack could do a lot of damage at the front.
Yeah, he held that off nicely, but, you know, I think Prime actually is just making a final risk here, and he's got to be careful of these Fungals right away. Broodlord's in the back, and he's got nothing to be able to deal with those. Great job by those Infestors maneuvering around, allowing the Roaches to come back in, and more Lings swelling in. Eventually, this push is going to be too much for the Protoss. He has to retreat.
Oh no, look at this. Life sees that there's almost nothing here, immediately steps into action with the Broodlords. No need to even really let the Infestors replenish their energy. He's just going to start rallying basic troops, and Life is going to be barreling towards that third base right away.
Yeah, I mean, the Brood's finally catching up. There's the blink forward, but a Fungal on top of it. The Broods do the rest, and GG. And we got a tied final here, folks. 1-1.
Delighted that we're not going to see another 4-0 Marcus. I mean, in all honesty, Life and Creator are playing amazingly in this series. That last game, though, did have a couple of questionable decisions from Creator right at the very start that sort of propagated out through the rest of the game. That choice to make all those extra Void Rays and Phoenixes and then step out into the middle of the map where there were really tons of Infestors that he had already seen there, that ended up getting quite far behind after he lost those air units.
Yeah, I mean, on the same token, there were moments I was really worried for Life there, going for that super Zergling attack, spilling a lot of units he didn't have to, canceling the speed overall, but he held his own. His defense was really good, despite being surprised by that Air Force that came out by Creator, and he takes his first game in this series, which whittles it down just a little bit. And this best-of-7 truly kicks off. Now, the next map is going to be Daybreak, personal favorite of mine in the PvZ matchup. And when we return, we'll see who will take the lead once again in this TSL Grand Final. This is Part 4, and $16,000 is on the line. Don't go away. We'll be right back.